This video, we're going to do a deep dive on how to create sales on Instagram and specifically into the strategy that helped us create $500,000 in a single month, primarily selling on Instagram stories. So for Instagram, something that you need to know is that a lot of our traffic on Instagram comes from other platforms. So we drive traffic from Pinterest, TikTok. I have many videos on that if you want to go watch those. We also have a podcast that goes in depth on both of those things. And then we also leverage Instagram Reels and Threads for visibility specifically within Instagram. With Instagram, the main pieces of short form content that we are creating are Reels that are going to do one of two things. They're either going to attract or they're going to activate. One of those two things needs to happen. So our core attraction videos that happen on Instagram are B-roll with text on screen. They're usually super short videos and we are just kind of piquing people's interest and getting them to engage. The goal is not to make sales with this. The goal is just to grab people's attention and bring them back to our Instagram. So we want them to then binge our highlights, our feed posts, the other things that live on our Instagram feed. Think about your Instagram kind of more like a digital storefront. We want people to move past the window shopping phase and into actually being in the store, putting in an order, right? We want to wrap up whatever it is that they're thinking about and actually convert them into a sale. So first things first, we have to have people to sell to. So we do that attraction content with those shorter reels and leveraging trending sounds. Little tip, I don't live and die by this, but I have seen that it works. Could be different in a couple months from now, but I like to pick trending sounds that have less than 10,000 uses, but the videos within the first line have over 1 million views. So with those, I've seen great results. Could have just been the video, could have just been the sound, but that's kind of how I go about choosing these sounds if I'm going to do a trending video. Now, with the captions, what I do is I'm a little bit more strategic here. So if I'm just piquing people's interest in the video, I'm doing a little bit more nurturing and giving them more information in the caption that's actually going to give them a reason to want to come over to my feed. Now, the second type of short form content or reel that we're posting over there is activation. So this is typically either going to be speaking to a gap that we know our audience has, so something that they don't understand, something they're doing wrong, a myth, a mistake, or it's going to be speaking to a solution. So an example of this, I recently posted a video that was our $500,000 per month content plan, and that did really well for activation. So because it was a solution and kind of an outcome-led video, people wanted to know how we did that, which then brought them over to our Instagram as well. So we have attract and activate with the two types of short form content that we're posting there. Now, the other thing that we post there, but we are not super consistent, honestly, with posting is the feed posts or carousels. The way that I look at feed posts and carousels, the goal with these posts is to nurture. So we want to give people additional information and we want to create a little bit more of that emotional connection with people. So where we're just giving people the bare minimum information in reels and kind of piquing their interest, we're able to go a little bit deeper, either with more immersive content where we're kind of bringing them through our thought process and giving them some different principles or things to learn, or we're kind of framing it in a way of like, we struggled with this thing and this is what we learned. So I like to do a lot of insight driven posts there, which again are just really immersing people into your world and nurturing them, building that relationship with you. Now, Instagram stories do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to actually creating conversions. There's two main ways that we go about activating when it comes to Instagram stories. So number one, we are leading with social proof and leveraging that bandwagon effect in sales psychology. So this is where we are sharing a piece of either it's a screenshot or a testimonial, or maybe it's hype, like we're getting a bunch of applications in a single day, and we kind of pull back that curtain and showcase what's happening behind the scenes of our business. And then very, very important, if you're going to share testimonial or social proof, you need to have a lesson along with it. We have a podcast episode that goes in depth about how to actually ethically share like income limbs and things like that, but you can use the same formula to share really any testimonial or any piece of social proof that you're wanting to share. And so it walks you through a step-by-step framework of exactly exactly what to post, what to say, how to post it. So we leverage that for social proof on our Instagram stories. Now, the second thing that we do is insight driven content on our stories, where again, we're kind of pulling back the curtain, but we're showcasing kind of what has happened behind the scenes, what we've gone through, what we do, what our process looks like, what it looks like when we work with clients. And then we are giving people a call to action to continue that conversation with us. So that could look like telling them to DM us a certain word or to use the tap reactions on Instagram stories, anything that's going to promote engagement and get that conversation started. And most importantly, you are essentially asking for permission to start that sales conversation. So you're not just reaching out to every person that watches your story. What you're doing is having people react or react to a poll or drop something in a question box or DM you. And so you're getting that permission, you're getting that micro commitment to actually then begin that sales conversation, which is really, really important. Now we move into your Instagram DMs. Now, this is where, again, a lot of the heavy lifting is going to happen between Instagram DMs and Instagram story. Now, the way that the algorithm works, if you've been having DM conversations with somebody, it's almost guaranteed that they're going to also be shown your story. So what you're able to do is very targeted objection handling content on your Instagram stories. Now, what we do is we track the DM conversations that we're having with people, the questions that are being answered, and if there is an objection or a question or a concern that keeps coming up over and over again, we will post content about that on our Instagram story. That way, we're not directly having to overcome that objection in the DMs, but we're able to create content where we're a little bit more insight driven. It's not as like pressure filled as like overcoming that in the DMs, and people feel like you're speaking directly to them. They feel seen by you and they're like, oh my gosh, you read my mind. How did you know to post about that? Well, I knew to post about that because I had this conversation with you and I track it, right? But that's what we do. So that is that final phase of the funnel where you're going from attracting to activating to nurturing and starting that sales conversation all the way down to overcoming objections. So same process that you would follow like on a sales call, a sales consult, from, discovery to objection handling and then closing. You're going to do the same thing with your Instagram. Your Instagram itself is a sales process. Hopefully this was helpful for you and kind of shifted the way that you think about posting on Instagram and the intention of every single post. Not every post is made to go viral. That's not the point with Instagram. Instagram is there to nurture and convert. So if you keep that in mind and you post with that intention, you're going to have much better results with your Instagram. If you'd like to learn more about our advisory offers and how we help people just like yourself scale with organic social media that's backed by sales psychology so you don't have to run any ads, be sure to check out our links in the description below so you can binge, get inside our world, and get connected with us. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, be sure to comment down below, or you can always drop into my DMs. I'm happy to chat with you there. Subscribe if you want to get notified when we post new videos, and if you'd like to chat more about this, you can book a free consult with our team. It's linked down below. They also love chatting with you guys. We can kind of do a gap assessment and see what's missing for you in your marketing. That's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for being here.